Hey guys, Jeff with Westcott Designs. We are here with a brand new 6th gen limited 4Runner in that underground color, awesome color. Just want to kind of go into this thing a little bit. This has our new basket rack. This is our 3/4 rack that starts just behind the sunroof here, and it turns into a basket rack, or it can be a platform. It's whatever you desire. One of the cool things about the roof rack is the antennas in the back here in the middle. The last bar that's here crosses right in front of the antenna, and so we don't waste that space. We built a platform up here. So the nice thing about this platform is you can climb up the ladder or get up on the roof. You can put your max tracks up on the back part of this, and then you can put all your stuff down in here in the basket. Or you can put whatever you want on this, or you could use it as a step to step into the basket if you want up the ladder, which this does not have a ladder. Our rock sliders. We talk about our rock sliders all the time. There's so many different brands that are out there in the marketplace for rock sliders, and so many different choices that you have. We didn't build our rock sliders to be like everybody else's rock sliders. We wanted our rock sliders to be luxury, high end, and just super nice and at that next level. When you look at our rock sliders, some of the things that we've done that we probably didn't have to do, or we could have done to get them in a smaller box, or we decided, hey, it's not about the box it's gonna fit in, it's about what our brand stands for and what we're doing here. And one of the things we've done with our rock sliders is we've rolled the front of the rock slider right here. We've rolled the rock slider to match the bottom part here. We've kept it in very tight up in through here, and then down in the back here, we've rolled it again in the back side of this. And then the reason why we've done this is just so we can maximize the rock slider coverage in both the front and the rear. So the minimum amount of time that a rock could get up and get caught between the tire and the rock slider, that's why we did it. The back tube that's on the back here ties into the frame, and we tied it into the frame here on one of the mounts so we can maximize the strength that this rock slider has. And I can't emphasize how much we put for time-wise into all of our welds. We stack the dimes like nobody else does out in the industry. Some guys will tell me, oh, you know, our rock sliders are just as nice, or to be honest with you, and I'm not because it's our brand and I'm trying to sell our rock slider, it's because it's the truth. There is no rock slider out in the marketplace that's a production rock slider that's as nice as our rock sliders. We want to make sure when someone gets our rock sliders that they waited for and paid the extra money for, that when they received them, they're that much nicer than any other rock slider on the market. And that's what we built the brand on. Our little top plates here, it's double laid, it's stainless steel, it's got a bottle opener in it. You know, just the detail and the craftsmanship that goes into this, and all the fine guys that we have building these in our shop every day to make sure that our customers get the best quality rock slider in the market. It has our lift kit in it. So it's got our preload collar in the bottom, and it's got our 1/2 inch shim in the top, and then it has a 1-inch puck in the back. People say, oh, you know, it's just a spacer lift. You know, it's just the same as it's a puck lift, it's a spacer lift. It's a preload collar. The preload collar goes on the bottom of the shock on where the factory collar sat that the spring perch sits on. So we replaced it with our billet aluminum collar in the bottom, and that basically puts preload on the spring and in return gives lift to the truck. People say, oh, well, you know, that's not the way to lift the truck. I will tell you this, that is 100% without question the best way to lift one of these trucks if it's still you're trying to retain the stock suspension. No questions asked. There again, am I trying to sell my product? Yes, maybe I am, but at the same time, I'm trying to educate the consumers out there to let them know, after all the years and all the time that we've spent designing this kit for these trucks, that we've tested it thoroughly, we've put these cars through their paces. We did not want to compromise the factory suspension at all for upward travel or downward travel on these. We didn't want it to overextend the axles on droop. We did not want to over push the shock to where it bottoms out internally and the valving gets damaged or it snaps the shock off because it doesn't hit the bump stop on this. We designed this stuff to work with the factory suspension the best way possible. What we've done is, that's why we've divided up. Sure, could we have made it one part and put all of it in the preload, or could we have put a big spacer on top and push the strut assembly down? Absolutely, we could have done that. Would have saved us a bunch of money and time? Absolutely, it would have. We decided that it's not about how much money you're gonna make and the easier way to make it. It was about making the best kit possible for our customers to know that it's not going to fail on them, that it's not going to cause failure on them, and that it just keeps all the factory geometry and stuff. People say all the time, oh, well, I heard that you have to have upper control arms. No, you don't have to have upper control arms. They say, oh, well, they say it's in the Reddit or that it's not correct. Anytime you change the upper control arms from where they are in the factory, whether it's our lift kit, a coilover, whatever, that upper arm changes, so the caster number is going to change because it's no longer at the same spot it was from the factory. That is not a wear indicator number. It does not cause wear because the angle changed. It's just not in the green because of the way it was designed from when the factory designed the specs for this. The caster, the camber number, and the toe is what really comes down to at the end of the day. If those numbers are set right, you'll get proper wear on your tires. The vehicle will act and operate the way it's supposed to. All the suspension will work properly. It'll have proper movement and geometry with the suspension. It'll work the way we designed it to. So when we talk about our lift kit, again, I'm gonna emphasize, it is not like everybody else's kit. It's actually like nobody else's kit because we have patents on this stuff to protect it. And we patented it not because we wanted to spend extra money on patents. It's because we knew that our technology and what we had done with it to make our kit makes it different than other companies that are out there. And we're not about doing anything that any other company does like they do it. We do everything our own way at our company, and we want to make sure that the consumers realize that we build things the way we want to build things, not just the way that everybody else in general builds things. And that's what separates our company from the other companies that are out there. Just building the highest quality parts, making sure that our customers are safe every single day driving around in their vehicles, not ever have to worry that something's going to fail because they put a piece of crappy part in their car and that it's worse off now than it was when the factory built it. So I know I get excited and I have a lot of energy, and I'm very passionate about what I do. And so I do kind of express this on camera to customers. It's because I care. I care a lot. To talk about the wheel offset and the wheel size on this, we ran Toyo Open Country AT3s in a 35 12.5 by 17. I see guys say, hey, I run it plus 25. Well, that's 10 millimeters. And 10 millimeters is a lot of room or a lot of distance when you're talking about scrub radius in the fender of a truck. So it makes a big difference on just that 10 millimeters. Getting the tire in just a little bit farther in the fender will open up a lot more room. It really can add up to a 1/4 inch of turning scrub radius in this to allow that in the room. And then when you go to full compression, it'll allow it to get tucked up behind here in the fender and not take the fender off the truck. But we have found that this rides the best. This setup works the best with this Method 703 and a 17 by 8.5 with a plus 35 and these 35-inch tires and the AT3s. They ride the best. They work great off-road. I run them on my 4Runner. I'm not telling you you have to run them on your 4Runner, but I've had really good luck with them. I'm very happy with them on the way they work out in the desert. And we live in the desert, so, but some of the even rock crawling, they work really well. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys notice, I've got some new sunglasses on. I actually broke my Smith glasses that everybody says, oh, you're too old to be wearing those glasses. You're probably gonna tell me I'm too old to be wearing my flat-billed hat and these sunglasses, but these sunglasses are made by a company called Sennheiser. And I will tell you this, they're transitional, so I can take them and I go into a darker place, the lenses will actually go clear. I come out into the sun and they actually transition, and it's really cool because I can wear them in the shop as safety glasses, or I can wear them out here in the sun and they transition. So I love them, and I really appreciate Sennheiser for getting them for us. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. We'd love to share more of this stuff with you. If you want to comment below, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to answer back to you. Again, thank you guys for watching.